god of the sea, tridents, things like that you may already know about Neptune. But what else is there? And more particularly, what is there about Neptune in the context of an astrology chart? Well, that's a good question, and I think I've put together a good answer. So let's start with the short answer. I just want to say to begin with that Neptune is so far away from the Sun, its orbit is so long and so slow, that it's much more of a generational placement than it is a personal one. But that being said, your Neptune placement in your chart can show your relationship to spirituality, your need to escape, and also your quest for redemption. So just like the sea itself, Neptune's a very deep planet, so stick around, because here's my long answer. So writer and astrologer Liz Green, she discusses themes of redemption around this planet of Neptune. She brings up stories and themes of like Adam and Eve, the idea of Messiah, and even the whole resurrection that we get in the Judeo-Christian tradition. Key to her writing in this context is this sense of longing, which she says embodies the Neptune archetype. It's like Neptune brings with it the sense that we were once one with divinity, with the universe, but we've since fallen and we've somehow become disconnected with the divine source. But that we are also filled with this drive to reconnect with that unity, with that oneness. She writes that Adam and Eve were sent out of the Garden of Eden, but there was a promise that one day we as humanity, that we would want to return, and that this whole thing about the Messiah and so on. So Neptune is that agent which wants to reunite, it wants to be redeemed. That part of your psyche is represented by Neptune in your chart. So your Neptune placement in your chart can show you the path that you are likely to follow in looking for that redemption. It doesn't have to be some kind of spiritual pursuit either, though. I'd imagine if you're watching this video, you're probably interested in spiritual pursuits. But for example, if you've got Neptune in the 7th house, it could be that your idol for redemption is your true love, you know, and you're thinking that when you meet your true love, you'll be complete again. Same exact motif, but it's not about spirituality, it's about something something you can do here on Earth. Your 11th house, if you've got Neptune, your 11th house could be you seek redemption through doing good in the world, right? Like being a crusader for just causes, and generally working to leave the world a better place than it was when you found it. These are definitely ways that your Neptune placement can come up and can be satisfied, but I definitely think that Neptune as a planet has got a lot to do with spirituality. It's through spirituality really that we can regain a sense of connectedness to the mystical and the mysterious side of life, and Neptune's got a lot to do with those areas. So this connection can also be related to artists as well, of all forms: dancers, painters, writers, actors, whatever. It's all very Neptunian. And in particular, that moment of inexplicable inspiration, that's the same exact kind of what I'm calling a spiritual connection. And your Neptune placement in your chart can indicate to you where, perhaps like almost like a kind of X marks the spot kind of thing in a treasure map. It can show you where you might want to look for that inspiration. And as for where that inspiration comes from, it could be from a divine source, it could be from the personal or the collective unconscious. And in the context of Neptune, these are both one and the same. So in myth, in the stories of mythology, water is often used as a symbol of the great unconscious. It's a very feminine archetype as well. It's just this deep, mysterious, unknowable things where things are one. Even if you look at waves, you know, it's impossible to decide where one wave begins, another one ends, or where a wave is the sea, and where, you know, for example, when it breaks on the rock, the water, is it not part of the sea when it's still part of the, you know, whatever it is. Neptune, of course, was god of the sea, and this is all very much tied into the position of Neptune in a natal chart. Something else related to this, which can come from a strong connection to Neptune in your chart, would be heightened intuitive abilities, right? And this is because the source of this kind of information is once again the great ocean of the collective unconscious. So if you've got a prominent Neptune in your chart, let me know in the comments below the video how you relate to what I'm saying. So like how, if you've got a strong Neptune, how strongly intuitive or empathic or sympathetic are you? Something else related to the archetype of Neptune is this idea of being a dreamer, right? This can be literally someone who dreams when they're asleep, which of course is all of us, but you know what I mean, like vividly dreaming, lucid dreaming, something like that. But also like a figurative dreamer, like an idealist, someone with a romantic view of the world. So these rose-tinted glasses can clash sometimes with the harsh realities of physical life, right? And this can make it difficult for those with a prominent Neptune who don't like hard deadlines or clear distinctions between one thing or another. Maybe it can even be difficult to deal with them, even like timetables, you know, like you have to be at the meeting at this time, you have to be at school at that time, that kind of thing. That can be difficult if someone's got a strong Neptune in their chart, because they don't want that. They want things to be whole. They want things to flow from one thing to the other and so on, not to be divided and distinguished from one from the other. And feeling these pressures that come with 3D life, and feeling that perhaps they don't fit in and they find it hard to adapt, can lead to a strong need for escapism. And this escapism can take various forms. It could be someone who really gets into a certain series of novels or movies or video games or whatever it is. It can also take the form of substance abuse, someone who tries to escape the harsh realities of 3D life by diving into psychoactive substances, or drink, alcohol being obvious ones there. It's all about wanting to escape this world and wanting to let go of control, basically, of masculine control, and give in to the feminine drive towards unity. It's all about wanting to reconnect with source, which actually brings it back to the Redeemer thing I said at the start of the video, which is a nice little circle. Alright, that's all I've got to say for today about the planet Neptune. So thank you very much for checking out the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want more of these videos to enjoy, you can let me know by hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, and if you leave us a little comment, that is even better. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you next time.